Hi, good afternoon. How is everyone today? We are going to start in a second. I need to put that away. Hi, Elsie. How are you? Good afternoon. I hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. I hope your week has been great. Um, we're probably going to talk about some astrology and tarot stuff a little bit today. I'm surprised the ad break didn't go off because that would have gone off by now. But hello. So, before we get started, I did update the redeems. So, a lot of the redeems are cheaper and more accessible, and the free card reading is also way cheaper than it was. There is no current cooldown time on it. Just please be respectful of your turn if you do redeem one. Just finished our Wings watching stream and then D&D. Same. Hope this week has been good for everyone. Good. Good. I hope you have fun in your D&D campaign. So for the redeem for a reading, pepper and cinnamon. Okay, there goes the ad break. Of course it goes now. So for the redeem, I don't know why spray bottle's still showing up. It shouldn't be there. But anyways, one question reading, it's gonna require you to send a message. So if you are interested in getting one, it is available to ask a question, or you can just say general and it's for general. But please read the rules before you send a question. And that's about it. Pepper and cinnamon. You know there's like some witchy like implications with that. You know that, right? Pepper and cinnamon. That's crazy. But I love it. Okay. Oh, we're in the ad break. So, cinnamon is generally, they generally put, you blow cinnamon in your doorstep on the first of the month to bring in abundance because cinnamon is connected to abundance. So if you're trying to get more money in your life or just have abundance can be more than money, but generally we blow cinnamon into our doorstep. And also you can use it for wards if you are using it for protection. But usually, if you're trying to do a return to sender spell, I've heard people using pepper. So, now I don't do like spell work and like jars and stuff like that. I did once, and all I did was put gum on a piece of paper and folded it away from me and said, please remove this energy from me, please and thank you, goodbye, and I was done. I'm not going to say what it was or what it was about because we've moved on, but yeah, it was a cleansing ritual. We'll just say that. Sometimes you gotta cleanse the bad energy. So, yes. I encourage everyone to do their own research, by the way. I'm not the only person out there who does tarot and stuff like that. So do your own research, learn your own things. It looks like we're back from ads. So, officially, hello, my name is Val. Welcome to Valkyrie Runes, where we do tarot, we do runes. Today we are going to be doing a chill stream day. I'm going to be playing some Final Fantasy XIV, probably just to craft, level my crafters, or level my botany, my fishing, stuff like that. Just super casual today because it is Freya's day, it's Friday, and it is Friday the 13th. It's not an unlucky day, so that's not why it's a chill day. It's actually, for me, it's actually a very beneficial, very witchy day. So I figure why not chill? Why not stream? Why not just hang out? But I am open for readings. If you'd like to book a reading or book a redeemable channel point message, it is available. Just remember that a question is required. If you just want a general reading, you just type general. I will put a sample in there. So it will pop up. I was going to have a sound added to it, but it kind of feels like the sound that I wanted to use is from an anime that I'm not sure everyone's seen, and I don't want to jump scare everybody with it, but maybe I should add it anyway. Educate the people, you know. Does this mean the cinnamon I've been using has been bringing us more enemies in the campaign? Sure. Maybe. They should be dropping extra loot. That's exactly actually what should be happening. They should be dropping extra loot. I'll never forget the time that I went shopping and I was like, I don't want to have to spend extra money today that I'm not going to get back. So what I did was I wrote a specific rune on my left hand, as well as the symbol for the planet Jupiter, because not only was I trying to bring in money, I was trying to bring in a lot more. And right when I did that and I checked out, my total was like 50 something, and I ended up booking 2 readings, and they totaled about $67, which is funny because 6-7, but it was a little bit more than what I had spent, so it technically worked. So it might have been coincidence. You know, that's the thing about spirituality, is that you don't know if it's really coincidence or not, but most of the time it hasn't been coincidence. It's been pretty much on the point. Exactly, blessed. I am Jupiter ruled, and if you're Jupiter ruled, that means you're naturally blessed. It also means you're naturally thick in places, but this is an evening stream. It might get a little raunchy. I'm not sure. We haven't decided yet. We'll see where the evening takes us. It's also Friday the 13th and Valentine's Day tomorrow. Do you have plans? If you have plans, I'd like to hear them, because I do not have plans. Let me live vicariously through you. Kidding. Also, hi Pisces, how are you? Are you feeling better? Exactly. Coincidence are nice. Extra money is good. Oh, I'm so glad you're feeling better. You just woke up? Okay. Well, I hope you continue to feel well and that you have a wonderful evening. Please take care of yourself. That's the priority. And we were going to make hot pot. Heart-shaped pizza. Both of those sound amazing. I want hot pot now. Actually, I'm now craving Korean fried chicken, actually. Because our good friend Moose mentioned Korean fried chicken, and now I want Korean fried chicken, so I'll have to blame him for that. Alright. Looks like everything's good on that end. Sometimes you just gotta check and make sure things are good. Okay. So we are chilling for now. We are going to continue playing on my lalafell. I'm probably just going to be leveling up like botany and fishing and stuff like that, because I just want to chill and hang out and talk about the transit that has just started. So officially, as of 2 minutes ago, Saturn has moved into the sign Aries. I've not had ginger fried rice. I've had curry fried rice. Curry fried rice is amazing. Alright. So I want to talk about this Saturn and Aries transit because it is... The last time we had Saturn and Aries, a very important book was released. Okay? The beginning of the Saturn and Aries transit, a very important book was released. I believe that's the last time it was going. Let's just do some quick. I did not research this. I know when it came out. Um, yeah, Saturn was in Aries from yeah, 1996 till 1999. And around that time when Saturn entered Aries last time, we got a very important book. Let me go get it because I actually own it. So I'll be right back. Totally planned this. The late 1900s. That's true. This book. Have you heard of this book? I'm not good with the angles here. This book came out at the beginning of the Saturn and Aries transit. And if you've read it, you'll know what it's about. And at the end of the Saturn and Aries transit, right at the end of the transit, the movie for this book came out. And I've read the book. I know what the book's about. I know exactly what the mentality of the book is, like what you're supposed to be gleaming from it. But unfortunately, I don't think a lot of people understood it when the movie came out because unfortunately, you now there's some heavy topics in this book. This book has some, I would say, a few trigger warnings, but I feel like most people who know me and have had conversations with me, like all of you, would know that like when I say trigger warnings, it's nothing beyond what we've already discussed. Like we know we can kind of handle, but just a warning, it gets pretty dark, but the overall message of the book is important to think about during the Saturn and Aries transit because again, this was, yes, American Psycho as well, very wildly misunderstood. And because Saturn and Aries is like, Aries is Mars, and a lot of people associate Mars with masculinity. And today is Friday, Freya's Day, they say divine feminine. Like, I find it really interesting that we're starting this transit on this particular day. Because from like a very spiritual context, like Saturn being, the planet of lessons, and we call it Daddy Saturn because Saturn isn't so much lessons in that you're being given direct orders or you're being given direct lessons as far as a guidebook on what you're doing. It's just about paying attention to what you're kind of learning through experience and allowing that to be your lesson is how much you're paying attention to the world around you. And I do kind of feel like this book talks a lot about toxic masculinity, and I do have a feeling that that's going to be a hot topic in the coming years. So that's my prediction for the Saturn and Aries transit because this book came out during it last time we had that transit. And I won't go into too many like predictions about the Saturn and Aries transit, but if you'd like to book a reading or you'd like to redeem points or just whatever, just let me know. I'm here for the next couple hours, and I'll be here tomorrow. We'll probably do more tarot divination stuff tomorrow, but today is just like a hangout sort of situation. So thank you, Pisces. So it's definitely a good time to kind of just like reflect back on what our Saturn and Pisces transit kind of helped us figure out. For me, Saturn and Pisces, Saturn was in my first house because I'm a Pisces rising, if you couldn't tell. And a big thing that I learned was I wouldn't say it was really about limitations or lessons on my identity because the first house does have to do with like first impressions and identity. I feel like it was more so how I want to show up rather than how people are perceiving me. Because I think people were perceiving me how they've always perceived me. I just was not privy to what that was. And I think Saturn and my first house kind of helped me understand that people um, underestimate me a little bit, because I let them. I kind of was letting people underestimate me because I wasn't like putting my foot down. And now that Saturn is going to be in my second house of uh, more of a clear identity and clear sense of structure and persona, um, that's going to be fun watching how this transit influences me personally. But where do you have Aries in your chart, and how do you think this Saturn and Aries transit is going to affect you personally? If you don't know your rising sign, if you don't know anything about your chart, please let me know, because I also do those readings. But I also don't have a set price for them because it's really dependent on how much you want to know, how much you want to dive into your chart and learn about reading your chart. Because most of what I do with readings is I teach you how to read your chart rather than just giving you information that I've learned. Because most of the information I've learned you can just Google, but it's more about like how to actually understand what's being said to you. Because sometimes the charts are just like, you're a let's Leo rising. What does that mean? What does that really mean? So my goal is to really explain it more so than just tell you what that information is. So I think for um, I think for this transit, we're really going to be seeing like toxic masculinity being talked about in different ways. Not necessarily that it's going away, but it's going to be talked about in a different context. But also because Saturn is not the only big transit that we're having this year, we're also going to be seeing the nodes are going to be switching. So the North and South node are currently in Pisces and Virgo respectively, and they're going to be switching into Aquarius and Leo. And the biggest theme I can explain for Aquarius North Node is authenticity. But I think the problem that people kind of forget to think about when it comes to authenticity is that authenticity is doesn't look a certain way. And I think that that's going to be a huge hot topic, is people are going to be looking at that South Node Leo and saying, "Oh, your inner child healing, your self-expression, even in terms of love and the heart space, you're going to be seeing what people are doing in terms of what their ideal self-expression is, and they're going to be trying to find their authenticity through this transit. So if you don't feel like you've found yourself yet, this transit's a good time to really start doing things that you've been maybe wanting to do since you were a kid and just always felt sort of like you didn't get the chance to, or maybe you've pulled away from doing those things, and maybe you're pulling away from those things during this transit as well. But I also feel like this transit's going to have more people pointing fingers over, "Oh, that doesn't seem very authentic of you, and that's not very authentic, this person's being very inauthentic." And it's like, the problem with authenticity is that only you know what's authentic to you, and only you can do what feels right to you. And if other people don't understand that, they're not your friends. They're not people who are meant for you. And that's okay. That doesn't mean you aren't authentic. And you're going to see more people maybe trying to stand out more because they want to be seen as the most authentic and the most special person in the room, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they are being authentic. And I feel like that's kind of like where we're learning discernment rather than pointing blame or pointing fingers, because the search for authenticity is an ongoing battle. Okay? Even the person you think is very fake and uncertain of themselves, that's their authentic self. Whoever you currently are, that is you. And the persona that you might be putting on that you know isn't you, that's still you, because it's something you've had to learn. That's something you've had to identify with through your experiences, and that is still authentic. People can say that's fake, and people can say you're being fake, but people who don't understand you or seek to understand who you really are also not being very authentic, because they would know that. They would know that because of the experience of the collective, also Aquarius energy, that your authenticity is not going to look a certain way. And maybe they have an interpretation of what authenticity is supposed to look like because of their experiences, but that's because they align with a different group. So, learning how to be authentic with yourself and trusting who you are and your experiences, no matter how much shame you might have because of your past experiences, how you identify with your past experiences, you're going to find your people more likely during this transit that's coming up in June than, not necessarily that you didn't find your people before, but you're going to feel more alignment in a collective sense and a personal individual sense, you versus them in a sense, not because you are at war with the people around you, but just understanding your place in the world and your place amongst people around you. And I say this because I have an Aquarius North node in the 11th house and a Leo South node in the 5th house. That's actually where they're home. So a lot of my upbringing and my experiences in finding friendships and finding love even has been about my authentic experiences and just living with who I authentically am. So, thank you, Luna. Oh gosh. You know when you like stretch and you can hear all the things in your neck popping? But yes, that's what I feel like we're going to be experiencing during that transit, but it's not going to happen until like June. So we have a little bit of time to kind of sit with Saturn and Aries, but the thing is like Saturn and Aries, regardless of where it is in your chart, is just going to, I feel like it's going to be pushing you to recognize where you need to slow down. Like it's a hurry up and wait kind of transit. And then on top of having this Aquarius North node, Leo South node, and then Leo Jupiter is also, I'm having my Jupiter return this year. I feel like it's going to be a very hot mess of people really just learning to be okay with who the fuck they already are instead of trying to be someone they really aren't. And finding your place in that can be extremely messy because Leo South node is very much heart space stuff, but it's also very like inner child shame. So, because South Node is kind of like your shame, like where you experience a lot of grief because you have experience in that area, you know that area, but it's always bringing you shame because you're just like, am I doing everything right here? And you keep questioning if you're doing everything right in that area of your life, but you are. That's the point of the South Node. It is to remind you that it's not about you, it's about your experiences and reminding yourself that your experiences are good and valid. Don't have shame in what you've experienced. And I noticed you also redeemed a hydrate, so thank you for the hydrate reminder. Please also hydrate. My cup is not screwed on right. Ugh, that needs liquid IV. It doesn't taste right. It just tastes like regular water. I got addicted to liquid IV. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. Saturn and Aries actually just started like 15 minutes ago. It literally started at 4:12 Pacific Standard Time. So I'm pretty excited to see what this transit means for me personally because it's in my second house of persona, how I'm sitting with my own personal identity, not how other people are projecting onto me, but how I'm sitting with it, what I'm learning from it, and also money. I'm very curious how it's going to help me financially because Saturn, Daddy Saturn does bless in the financial realms, depending on how you work with that energy. Alright, so that's all I had to yap about as far as the Saturn and Aries transit. Of course, again, readings are open, but there is no pressure to book one. We are just yapping about what's available, and hopefully we have some fun today with our leveling of our lalafell. Authenticity does not have a certain look. I think authenticity is dynamic or relates to, yes, your human nature is your authenticity. So whoever the hell you are, and not just in your anger, like I really can't stand those people, and I feel like Saturn and Aries is going to highlight those people too, where they're like, oh, you don't know a person until they're angry with you. You don't know a person until they're mad at you or they're yelling at you or they're like their true colors come out. Like, not really. Like, yes, that's how they truly authentically are when they're angry, but not all the time. That's not who they are as a whole. I think one of the collective readings that I did, maybe I'll do that during this stream, because it's a chill stream, like do anything kind of stream, is seeing how the collective sits with the Saturn and Aries energy. But when I did the collective readings before, I kept seeing like Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups kind of identifies with feeling like you have to make a choice. Let's see if we can get the tarot time going, and we can kind of just look for the Seven of Cups and talk about it, because I feel like that's kind of what we're leaning towards. Let's move our Alani. Nobody needs to see that I'm drinking Alani at this hour. Nobody needs to know that. It's the pink slush one, by the way. But yeah, when I was doing collective readings off camera, I was kind of just kind of checking in to see, like, what is Saturn and Aries bringing us? What is Saturn and Aries teaching us as a collective? And I kept seeing very consistently the Fool card, which is all about kind of like, it's about new opportunities and new challenges, but it's things that you don't really expect coming in. So to kind of just be ready to not be ready at all is what I've been consistently seeing. I've also been consistently seeing the Seven of Cups. And the thing about the Seven of Cups is that when you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about, but it's kind of referring to this idea that we feel like we have to make a choice when it comes to our feelings, and we really don't. We have an ad break in 5 minutes. Have I really been talking that long? Should I adjust my ad breaks? I think they're fine the way they are, but I have some people I can talk to about that. Expect the unexpected now. The Secret of the Cloud. Ancient mystery. What is that? If it's from something that I should know, I'm gonna be real embarrassed, but it's okay. Where are you, Seven of Cups? Okay, this is actually a good card that I want to bring out just for the hell of it, but I'm gonna put it right there. Card Captor, that's another show I haven't seen. I think we should start some sort of like blinker redeem or edible redeem when I get edibles again. For every like show that other people grew up with that I didn't get to see growing up. Where are you, Seven of Cups? Okay, I skipped over her. Where is she? A blinker redeem. Why not? Why not? I mean, I don't have anything on me now, unfortunately. There she is. I wonder where she was hiding. So consistently in my collectives, I've also been seeing the Judgment card. And we're going to kind of just go over what I've been seeing collectively speaking. Once we're... I miss my wife, Tails. We're going to go over collective messages in a little bit. We've also been seeing Wheel of Fortune. And what's the other one we've been seeing? Well, that I've been seeing in my offline reads. Thank you, Luna. Good luck with work. Okay, we're gonna leave it at that because I think we already have. We have like 7 cards here. Let's just talk about the key points that I want to talk about with the cards we already have. So we're gonna talk about the Page of Cups another time because, yep, I miss my wife. I miss her so much. I'll be right back. Alright, so we do have the ad break starting in like 2 minutes. Does anyone have a preference on which card we start with? I think we should go with the Seven of Cups first because that's the one that I want to focus on first. It's one of my favorite minor arcanas, and then we can talk about the other cards afterwards. But we'll get into the Seven of Cups after the ad. The ad's starting in like 2 minutes, so we'll just kind of chill. We'll be right back for a little bit. Make sure that you stretch. Make sure that you hydrate. Make sure that you take, you know, any medicines that you've been forgetting to take, because I know sometimes we forget to take our meds. If you know, left your stove on, need to go check on something, just go do that. And we'll be back in a little bit. But yeah, we'll talk about the Seven of Cups when we get back, and then maybe we'll play some Final Fantasy 14. But I really want to talk about what I've been seeing collectively, because I think that that's going to be really important, is how we're seeing the collective change because of the transits that are happening. All right. I'll be right back. Take care of yourselves. All right. Looks like we're back. Perchance. Welcome back. I hope that everyone took care of themselves while I was just sitting here waiting. Okay, so if you don't have this book and you want to learn to read tarot, it's really not showing up on the camera. Let me just switch over here and just get a good look at it. Guided Tarot for Seamless Readings by Stephanie Capone. Excellent. Best book on tarot that I've seen so far. Now, we're gonna talk about some cards, and thank you. Did you just get back? It told me that the ads were done, and I'm not sure. I don't trust Twitch sometimes. But anyways, thank you. Hi Yua, how are you? Yeah, it's weird. It doesn't It's not always accurate, I don't think. I'm glad you're good. So, for the collective, for just like the Saturn and Aries transit that we just started, mainly I have been seeing this card that you've seen on the screen. It is the Seven of Cups. I do want to go through each card at a different pace and at a different time, but collectively speaking, I've been seeing. Why is there hair here? Get out of here. I have been collectively seeing the Seven of Cups consistently for the Saturn and Aries transit. I've heard that that's good. Twitch. Twitch, be good, okay? So, we're going to talk about the Seven of Cups, okay? Because the Seven of Cups is, just by looking at it, if you know how to read tarot, I'm not asking you, by the way. You can give your input if you want to give a non-tarot opinion, but, like, if you know, you know. I want to know, like, if you're willing to kind of sprinkle in your impressions of this card, what your impressions of this card are, and kind of let me know what you feel from it based on what I said earlier or what you feel just in general from the card, because I think that this is a good opportunity for people to kind of learn tarot anyway, but there's not really any pressure to do so. I'm just asking, what do you get from this? What is your first impression of this card when you see it? Your eyes always go to the snake. Interestingly enough, I always go to the laurel here. If you don't have any, like, first impressions, that's okay. It's not like a quiz or that I'm quizzing anybody. It just generally, like, I want to ask because before I get into explaining, I like knowing what people's impressions are and what they get from something. Okay, so each of these cups presents an opportunity, right? If you've seen the Ace of Cups, the start of the cups line, it's a hand with a cup. It's offering you the cup, right? And the cup is overflowing with liquid. Now, there's no rhyme or reason to believe that the Ace of Cups is anything but a positive, because receiving something generally should be seen as a positive. However, what we have here is a state of overwhelm. When I see this card, I immediately go to the laurel, but I'm mostly seeing the shadowed figure and how we're not being shown like a person. We're shown an outline of a person. And when we see people in tarot, and mind you, every single card except for 2 cards has a person inside on the card. On the original Rider-Waite. Oh, the Ace of Cups is actually on the bottom. This is what I'm talking about. It's an offer of some sort. It looks very positive. So when we're looking at this card and we're seeing the shadowed figure, what I'm ultimately seeing first is a person in a state of overwhelm, specifically an emotional overwhelm, because the cups represent our emotions. And for a collective reading, I feel like this is asking us why we feel pressured into choosing any one feeling. Our experiences in life are full of emotion and wonder. It's not meant to be a choice of feeling. We don't choose to feel good. We don't choose to feel bad. We make the most of the feelings and emotions that we have in front of us. And I feel like ultimately this is learning how to sit with feelings that are not necessarily good or bad. They just are what they are. And your initial impression of your feelings is really what you need to be focusing on, but not necessarily choosing any one feeling, right? When I think of the Seven of Cups, I actually also think of the World card. It is the final card in the Major Arcana. And I'm going to put it side by side real quick and just ask you, the viewer, what your impressions are. Not necessarily of them together, but of the World card. I'll bring it a little closer so you can see it better. 444, you're absolutely right. Protection. The number 4 is actually my life path number, so I associate that number with meaning that I'm on the right path. Aww. Thank you. So, first impressions of the World card. When I first started learning tarot, I was really thrown off by this card because it kind of just looks like someone who has it all figured out, because it's the last card, right? It's the last card in the story of the Major Arcana. Right before it is the Judgment card. So we're kind of looking at a sense of like perspective of everything that we've endured up until this point. The World is showing us that we have finished a cycle, right? It's showing us that the cycle that we've been in, we understand it. It's not that we have learned every single lesson within that cycle, it's that we understand the point of it. And when I see it, it's telling me that I need to, or that the collective needs to, consider everything that we have gained and learned up until this point. Everything that you have experienced, everything that you have learned was for a reason. So the World being kind of paired with the Seven of Cups here, I think of them together because when we're faced with the adversity of our emotions, when we think about how we're feeling a lot of things, we're feeling joy, we're feeling agony, we're being offered opportunities and feelings and experiences through our emotions that don't necessarily feel good or bad. There's just a lot of them. And we can pinpoint what might be a good feeling to experience and what we might dwell on because of it. And this is a person who is overwhelmed by everything they're feeling or being shown that they're feeling, but they're not being shown what's behind the curtain, right? And that's kind of bringing back the Ace of Cups, because that cloud is there too. You don't know who's giving you this opportunity. You don't know what this is, where this is coming from. It's kind of like you can take it or leave it. It's a good experience, it's a bad experience, but either way, it's not really important who or what is providing this feeling that you're having, because the thing about emotions are they aren't permanent. You can feel a certain way about everything that you've experienced and everything that you have yet to experience, but that does not mean that it is a choice necessarily to feel that way. And it isn't necessarily about choosing any one feeling. Sometimes the feelings that you're being presented do remind you of past experiences. And I think that's kind of why we're seeing like a plethora of good and bad, because it's kind of like a Trojan horse, so to speak. You don't really know what you're going to experience until you do, right? It's not really about what it's presenting as. Something can feel wrong and be the best experience of your life, but your trauma or your experience thus far has taught you to believe that. So the thing about overwhelming emotions is they're not really there to be chosen. And that is, I think, why the following card is the Eight of Cups. We're removing ourselves from the situation emotionally. I think what's interesting, though, about the Eight of Cups is there's a lot of people who will present that card as being like abandonment, or that someone's abandoning you, but it's really just abandoning emotions that you don't really like. It's not that you're not willing to feel the emotions. I mean, maybe in certain cases it is. It's just asking you to be a little bit more, I want to use the word diplomatic, but I don't think that's really accurate. It's really just about understanding that sometimes your emotions can get the best of you, and it's better you address emotional topics when you're in the headspace to do so. I also noticed that this guy kind of looks like the Hermit card, and the Hermit tends to need to have alone time to kind of process the things they're experiencing or feeling. So there's a lot of cards that we can get through. There's a lot of cards we can learn that call back to each other. But when I think of the Seven of Cups, I think of the World. I think of the World card because it's presenting to me sort of like these are all the feelings that you're currently having that are showing you, you're seeing the snake, you're seeing a dragon, you're seeing a laurel, which is actually laurels. When I just looked them up, they're a wreath that has to do with triumph and sort of like honor and high achievement. You have riches. You have actually a tower right here. You have things that are reminding you of good and bad experiences, but that doesn't necessarily mean that being reminded or being presented these emotions have to mean anything or even have to be chosen necessarily. I think that's kind of the point of this card, is that because the card before it is a Six of Cups, a card of nostalgia and good memories, that sometimes nostalgia can lead us to having these overwhelming feelings. So I think that for this collective energy that I've been getting consistently with this combination, it's really just presenting that we have to honor what we've experienced, but not necessarily let that pave the way for new experiences. You know what I mean? And we have also been seeing the Page of Cups in our collectives, but I'm not going to get too far into that because the pages and the knights and the kings and the queens, they're very specific energies depending on what the collective is. And I haven't been seeing the cards necessarily together, but they've been across a couple spreads that I've done for the collective and for myself. And because I am a part of my own collective, I have to consider that there is something very intuitive about the way that I'm living my life and how I express that outwardly. And what I've been kind of experiencing in my own life is just understanding that your past experiences, although they define you at this very, very current circumstance, do not let that overwhelm you into thinking that everything you're currently dealing with is a reflection of that. Just because you are a reflection of your past experiences doesn't mean the rest of the world is catching up to that. And it's a good time for you to kind of like regulate that and not blame your current circumstances for things that led you to them, because you have to remember you have learned from these lessons. Being reminded of them doesn't mean, like, memories are just memories, you know what I mean? They're not there to like pinpoint anything specific, and that's kind of why I get kind of frustrated at collective readings where it's just like, oh, the Six of Cups came out, your ex is coming back. It's like, not really, but okay. But this isn't about jabbing at other readers. This is about educating. I lost my other cards because I was talking and I just started like shuffling them in, but right here. Honor and or process, but not drown in it. Exactly, Elsie. Exactly. So we have a couple other cards here that I want to go over, but I want to kind of sit with that. I just kind of want to sit with that for a little bit because I think because of our Saturn and Pisces transit, Pisces is considered the last sign of the zodiac, meaning that it has seen everything, right? And though the Seven of Cups and the World are not at all in relation to the astrological sign of Pisces, they do kind of present in combination, the experience of accepting that everything that's happened, that we may or may not understand the why or the how, it just is what it is. I think that that's kind of a good way to explain how Pisces energy works. It just is. And you just have to feel it and accept it and not drown in it. Although it's very, very easy for Pisces placements to get it's very easy for us to drown in our own feelings sometimes. Because that's just unfortunately how we function. Because we really do be seeing and feeling everything. Alright, so Saturn and Aries. Where do you have Aries in your chart, and what are you hoping to kind of gain an understanding of through this transit? Let me think. Does anyone in the chat know their rising sign? Because I can give a very generalized expression of what it means for your sign. Now the thing is, I'm not going to sit here and read everybody's birth chart, but I can tell you off the top of my head that there are going to be certain signs that experience this a certain way. So, okay, so I'm being given a couple signs. So, you forget every time. Um, so, okay. So, Capricorn rising. So, generally, Capricorn rising, Aries would be in your fourth house. Um, but of course, it's different for everybody because let's switch to chatting. Everybody's, everybody's chart's a little bit different. So you could be a Capricorn rising and your Aries is like still your third house, or maybe it's a little bit like of third and fourth house. So if we're doing like whole sign houses instead of Placidus, and that's the difference. Placidus allows for those changes and those shifts. But if you do whole sign houses, it's clear cut. Excuse me, it's clear cut. Aries is always the fourth house. Fourth house has to do with the home and comfort. Saturn being there, there might be some uncomfortable lessons for your home life that I wouldn't really say that Saturn in the fourth house is an uncomfortable transit. But I know that natally it's considered uncomfortable because you basically have to grow up very quickly. If you naturally already have that going on in your chart, then I wouldn't worry about it too much. But when we're dealing with like Saturn in the fourth house as a transit, it might be some time for you to kind of integrate more like kindness in your emotional security, your sense of emotional security. I wouldn't say it's necessarily about finding new comforts because it's not always, fourth house is not always about being comfortable. It's just about being able to find stability. So if you are still struggling to find stability, Capricorn risings, I think that this is a good time for you to learn your lessons in finding stability that actually works for you instead of temporary. Um, because Aries in the fourth house tends to be very like, you know, quick fix. It's a quick fix emotional security. Um, for Sagittarius, I believe for Sagittarius, that's your fifth house. Fifth house is playtime and fun. But I know that Saturn moving into your fifth house can also be about dating. It can be about sex. It can be about fifth house is like very just playful. So it's really just asking you to get more serious about your dating or serious about your self-expression. Maybe there's conversations that you're needing to have. Maybe you're needing to be more serious about the way that you approach certain people that you're dating, certain people that you have close relationship with in terms of like people that you have fun with, people that you hang out with, but not necessarily take all that seriously. I'm not saying you don't take people in your life seriously, but just like it's more about like acknowledging that having fun requires a little bit of it's not the lessons in it. And it's not the karma in it. I think it's really just asking about I'm thinking of the word. I'm thinking of the word and it's not coming to me. It's like at the tip of my it's like I think I explained it well enough. We'll circle back. I'm seeing Libra. If you're a Libra rising, then Aries, the Saturn in Aries is going to be hitting your seventh house. Seventh house is marriage, contracts, long-term commitments. So if you are not already in a long-term relationship or a type of commitment, um, you will probably be getting closer to that, or at least seeing what you'd like in a partner more clearly. but also if there is something going on with a contract that you're in that might be coming up during this transit. So take that as it resonates for you, though, because sometimes I say contracts and relationships and people are like, what? Because there are people who go through like breakups during these transits. There are people who go through difficult times. I'm not here to like fearmonger anybody or tell people like it's going to be a bad time. It's not. But Saturn does help you take off the rose-colored glasses and think more practically about what needs to be done in a certain area of your life. So you have more efficiency, so you have more clarity and know-how in your own approach, so you're not addressing these subjects with without any care of what they are. Because seventh house does have to do with like marriage and contracts, but it can deal with other kinds of like long-term commitments. Like if there is like a career move that you've been trying to make, this might be a good time to start thinking about what career you're committing yourself to. Things that you're committing yourself to don't always have to be about romantic partnerships, but the seventh house is generally connected to that. It's going to like for some Libra risings, it's going to start in the sixth house, which has to do with your routines. So you might be looking at specifically work related things. We have another ad break in 5 minutes. Did we just have one? I'm kidding. But I kind of want to pull cards for the collective at some point, but we're going to do that probably tomorrow because tomorrow is Saturday. And Saturn rules Saturday, and we have a Saturn and Aries transit. It just feels right, you know? So we're going to like kind of go back to talking about the tarot stuff. Literally striking next Thursday, see? It's a good time for you to get serious about your commitments. That's really all Saturn does, is ask you to get serious about wherever it is in your chart. So if you have Saturn moving into your fourth house, then it's going to ask you to get more serious about your routines, your sense of stability, your sense of comfort, your sense of even like, it might even be asking you to clear up any father or mother wounds during that transit. It might be very difficult for Capricorn risings. For Sag risings, you guys are dealing with fifth house things. So like, you're going to be more serious about who you're dating, if you're interested in dating anyway, if you are dating anybody. Or if you haven't dated anyone yet, you're getting more serious about those commitments. But it's also about, it can also be about self-expression, the heart space, love. Like, it can deal with a lot of things about playful energy. So Saturn moving there can feel like a type of burden to those subjects, but it's just teaching you how to have fun in a way that's constructive to you, that isn't you leaping at the next partner, because Aries fifth house might have you jumping into things because they're fun, but then not necessarily wanting to stay in those things. So it's really about trusting your heart more and learning how to trust yourself when you are making these commitments, because Saturn is teaching you how to invest in those areas better. May all your unions, exactly. Yeah, seventh house is a unity kind of thing. Like, if you have any placements in your seventh house, specifically like your moon or your sun, it can be a good time for you to also recognize like the way you're showing up in connections as well. Like, not just like for yourself, but just also, am I being the best partner to my partner that I can be? It's a good time to be mature. You know, if you have a natal Saturn in Aries, it is your Saturn return. So everything you've kind of experienced with that, with having that natally as it is, it's going to help you kind of like level up. Saturn helps you level up. But the thing is, in any video game, you know, leveling up takes a certain amount of work. So you're going to have your work cut out for you in that area of your life, but you'll know what to do. These experiences are not meant to be traumatizing. They're meant to help you learn. We have the ad break starting in 2 minutes, so I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to go back to tarot talk in a little bit. Hopefully we'll have the energy to just chill and vibe and get back into games. I do want to talk about the tarot though, because, excuse me, the collectives have been really, really interesting. Laughs and Saturn ruled. Yeah, it's interesting knowing a person who's Saturn ruled and listening to them say, "I'm gonna go through my Saturn return." Like, you are your Saturn return. Everything you've experienced is your Saturn return. One of my mutuals from spiritual Twitter, she's got a Saturn ruled moon. She's a Capricorn moon, but she's starting her Saturn return this year, with Saturn in Aries. And I find that really fascinating because she's already kind of gone through the things that she needs to go through in order to understand this transit, but knowing where it sits in her chart is super fascinating because I'm not going to give you my friend's full chart, but it's like it's definitely like stuff that she already kind of knows. It's just going to kind of help her regulate where that energy is going. It's like when you're Saturn ruled or you have like major Saturn influence in your chart, you get all the experience you need, but not a lot of know how where to put it, you know? So it's really interesting to go through a Saturn return because, like for me, I have a Pisces rising and we have two rulers. Mainly, I'm Jupiter ruled, so I'm ruled by my Leo Jupiter in the fifth house. But I also have noted that some astrologers still use ancient astrology and say Pisces is ruled by Neptune. Why is my nose itchy? Ruled by Neptune. So my Neptune is in Capricorn in the 11th house, which is the opposite house. And it's actually really interesting because all of my life has been about the 11th house themes and what it means to kind of show up in community and show up in friendship. So it's really interesting to see how that plays out astrologically. Finch has helped me stick up to new routine for our chores too. Yeah, see? I think with Saturn and Aries, that's actually a really great thing for you because you're using fifth house play to help you with your lessons. And that's the thing about the fifth house is that it does have to do with play and fun. So do have fun during your transit with the fifth house Saturn, but also understand that like it's not about you shouldn't have fun or that fun has to look a certain way. But I think that whatever lessons you're learning, it's good to help that be regulated through that method. A lot of my lessons are in my Saturn 11th house. My Saturn return was in my 11th house. And a lot of that had to do with like uh, friendships I should not have been in, commitments I should not have been in because it was also my seventh house perfection year, because perfection years are a thing as well. And it's pretty fascinating. But yeah, we won't go into perfection years right now today because it's not Saturday, it's Friday. We're meant to be relaxing and chilling because it's Freya's day. But it is something I do like talking about, so it's enjoyable. But yeah, it's if you're using like certain like fun methods to deal with your Saturn transits, that's also very good because fifth house energy is playful. It's very like flirty, playful, fun. It's funny because people think Saturn in that aspect is very like Saturn is supposed to be very limiting, but it's really just asking you to limit your expectations of, not limit your expectations. We're still in ad break, so I'm gonna wait till I figure out what the fuck I'm trying to say. Yeah, I think it's like Saturn and Aries in your fifth house is like, are you sure you want to be doing it that way? Like, you should be having fun. You should be looking at the glass is half full. Like, you should. But remember that, like, if you're having too much fun, you can accidentally spill your cup. So, like, knowing the risks of what you're doing, I think, is really what it's talking about. It's not saying don't do that, it's saying know the risks, understand the risks. You can take a leap of faith, but understand like there's a difference between a leap of faith and tripping into your blessings, you know. And there's like no wrong way to live necessarily, but like I feel like there's just things that we know and understand like we didn't really want this to be done this way. And now you might be seeing more clarity in that, especially in areas where you're just expressing yourself, or you're just having a good time, you know? I wonder if online is a part of that as well. Yeah, so in a birth chart, the fifth house actually opposes the 11th house. So a lot of the times, our fifth house, where we have, you know, inner child healing, fun, things like that, it kind of regulates into the 11th house themes. 11th house themes have to do with like community, social media, technology. So like it's good for you to have fun, and it's good for you to express that fun through that social media outlet, but also understanding that fun can be a private thing. You don't necessarily have to be involved with a community all the time. You don't have to like finding your own fun, and finding fun that makes sense to you and is more grounding, I think, is a good way to put it. And I feel like that's what you've been trying to say in this message, and you are saying it. I'm just like putting it astrologically for you, taking a step back. Yeah, because the first like seven houses in astrology, first six houses in astrology, are considered private houses. It's things that you experience kind of privately, and then they are thus expressed externally when you get to your seventh to 12th houses. Um, you experience yourself on the outside when you get to those outside houses, but I'm not saying that you can't have fun on social media. I'm not saying that you can't have fun in general. I think it's just going to be helping you regulate like what matters to you when it comes to fun, and how much you're involving um, risks in that fun. What you're risking in that fun. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You don't have to be readily available for everybody. And I think that's also like a huge thing about Aries in general, because Aries is considered like the first sign of the zodiac. And so it's very much like it's there. It's like you can call up an Aries and they'll be at your doorstep in like 5 minutes. And that isn't necessarily healthy attitude to have. I'm not saying that that's a bad attitude either. I'm just saying like there's nuance in everything. So it's understanding when's the right time to jump ahead and to leap into something, and when to step back and not leap into something. And that's the thing about Saturn. Saturn is about delays and longevity, where Aries is not. So having Saturn transit in Aries is really just asking about us to kind of like scale back where we're jumping into things, and trusting, or where we're trusting our leap of faith situations. 100%, yeah. That's 100% accurate. Like I mean, we're going to be having the Aquarius North Node transit in June. I think in June. So we're dealing with like community and how we're showing up for community, but how we're showing up for ourselves as well. And you might see more people trying to show up and show out, but you also might be seeing more people just kind of like learning to stand for themselves a little bit more, and not that they can't rely on their community, but understanding that they are not their community. They are part of their community, but they are not their community. And they are their own individual person. And you'll probably see people who are annoyed at that. There's probably gonna be one or two, maybe a lot more people that are not happy with the individuality that's gonna come out of that transit. But I'm excited to see what people are gonna do with it. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen with that transit, honestly. So we're gonna switch back to tarot time, because I want to kind of get through the other cards that we've been seeing, and then I want to kind of play games and kind of chill and chat with y'all, if you don't mind. So let's go ahead and switch back to our tarot page. Okay, so we were already talking about the Seven of Cups and the World card, right? Um, Mostly what I was trying to get at is that the Seven of Cups is not asking us to necessarily make a choice. It's not asking us to prioritize a feeling over another, and it's not asking us to be overwhelmed, not be overwhelmed. It's just asking us to acknowledge our feelings, whatever they are. If they're good, they're good. If they're bad, they're bad. But they're not permanent, because no feeling is. Feelings are not supposed to be permanent. If you have a feeling about someone or something, and that one thing is not permanent in of itself, where you're not talking to a certain person consistently, or you're not dealing with a particular subject so much, but it's continuously kind of showing up inconsistently enough to remind you of all the feelings that it causes. The feelings are not asking you to make a choice. They're just asking you to understand that sometimes things, people, situations are going to bring up feelings in us that we will feel like we're supposed to stuff in a box and deal with a specific way. But actually, the point of life is to understand that it's not really about choosing a feeling with a particular thing, but understanding that we're allowed to have our feelings, we're allowed to our feelings, but we really have to maintain our choices about those feelings, because just because a feeling looks good or looks bad for us, or feels bad, man. Just because something feels bad or feels good doesn't mean we necessarily have to choose a certain way just because of that. You don't necessarily have to believe that someone is out to get you just because you're getting a bad feeling from them. It's really about making sure you're not jumping to any one conclusion just based on a feeling. And I think that is so on point with the Saturn and Aries energy. Remember that everything you feel and have felt, and how you've had to learn how to just kind of accept that you're just going to feel some type of way in multiple ways about any one thing. That's kind of the point. That's the point of Saturn in Pisces, I think. And also, I think Saturn in Aries is going to remind us in it's going to remind us more often, I feel like, to really, really, really separate ourselves from the idea that emotions are supposed to be picked and chosen over. It's good and fine to be like, hey, you see this thing that's giving you a good feeling, go towards it. But be sensible about the way that you're going towards those feelings or going away from those feelings. Be regulated, be understanding. I believe that this is Scorpio Venus energy, or Scorpio Mars. It's one of the Scorpio placements. I know it can't be Scorpio Venus, because I think that's 6 of Cups, not 7 of Cups. But I think really that kind of covers it. I mean, of course, if you want to kind of ask questions, you're more than welcome to. Those are not at all rejected. I feel like it's not very clear about where my bookings stand. So, like, if you're booking a reading because you want cosmic advice through tarot, through runes, feel free to book that. There is also the redeem. But if you're just asking a general question about a tarot card, or we're just doing a discussion, you're more than welcome to just ask. Of course, you don't have to. Thank you, Pisces. All right, so that's what I wanted to cover. The thing about the World card is, again, it is the sum of our experiences, right? The sum of the things that we gain to understand. It's also a card that represents Saturn. So if you are looking to understand how Saturn and Aries might reflect for you, feel free to look into this card. The World card is just asking us to accumulate everything we've learned and everything we've felt up until this point, and what it's really stood the test of time. You know, how has it stood the test of time to understand this card? How have you learned everything up until this point? How has it sat with you? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on. If you have questions, you're more than welcome to ask. If you don't have questions, that's also okay. We're going to move on to a different card, but I'm going to just kind of sit with this, because I think I might have more I want to say, but it's not quite coming up just now. Because it's a lot to go through. Just one card. Because with the World card, it is a summary of all of our lessons. But because consistently I've also been seeing the Fool card and the Magician, which is the start of our lessons, I find that really fascinating, because it's generally and genuinely giving us, like, Okay, so you learned a bunch of lessons, right? Are you aware of them? Good, because you're about to be very unaware of a lot of things coming in, is what I'm getting from the vibes of Saturn and Aries. Because, again, it's understanding that everything that you've experienced up until this point is a reflection of everything you've been up until this point. Everything you know right now, the person you currently identify with being, is a summary of everything that you've experienced and the lessons you've gained to understand. But part of those lessons is understanding that just because this knowledge has gotten you this far doesn't mean it's knowledge that will get you into the next steps. So keep it in mind, though. Keep your lessons in mind, though, but understand that it's not all there is. Okay, so the Fool is our start. So I want to kind of leave that there and ask chat, what are you getting from this card? What are you getting from the Fool card? How are you feeling about it? What do you feel from this card? I will go ahead and hold it up a little bit more. What are you getting from it? If you feel like sharing. If you don't feel like sharing, that's okay too. If you just want to kind of look at it, get your own vibe from it, take your own notes if you feel like doing that, that's also okay. What's the first things you notice? What do you not notice? That sort of thing. What do you not notice? It'd be really funny if we did a whole segment of what do you not notice? I'm gonna have to look that up. Tsurugi. I can spell. I like how I'm using my phone instead of the computer that's like right in front of me. So there's a Tsurugi in Jujutsu Kaisen, and I keep seeing stuff about Jujutsu Kaisen, and I'm like, I really need to watch Jujutsu Kaisen. I know that's not who we're talking about because you're saying Servam, but I just typed Tsurugi, and the first thing that comes up is Jujutsu Kaisen. Unless that is who you mean, but I don't think so. Nope. Completely different person. Oh my god, he has a birthday and he's a Virgo. I love when I look at like Japanese media and they have birthdays because I'm like, ooh, what's your birth time? And that's something I really like about like Japanese games and media because there's a lot of like astrology that's like sprinkled in. Like when I was a kid and I was getting really into astrology and I started playing Final Fantasy X and I'm like, they all had astrology connected to them. Waka is Jupiter. His special weapon is Jupiter. So he's either a Pisces or a Sagittarius. I think he's a Sagittarius. Lulu is Venus, so she's either a Libra or Taurus. I'm going to say Libra because Libras are really hot. I'm not saying Tauruses aren't, but I'm usually attracted to Libras. So I'm going to say Libra because she's hot and I'm attracted to her. Riku, my girl, she's Mercury, so she's either a Gemini or Virgo. I think that's a toss-up. I think she could be either, honestly. I want to headcanon her as a Virgo because I am one. But, you know. And Titus and Yuna are Sun and Moon, which is only Leo or Cancer. So Yuna is a Cancer and Titus is a Leo. And Sun and Moon is so cute. So you told me to look up Tsurugi, right? And I got distracted that he's a Virgo, right? And I don't see anything about like the card thing that you're saying, but I trust you and I will look into this more, or you can explain it to me later. But I do want to say for the Fool card is that it is the first thing that we want to point out about any tarot card in general is that they all have numbers at the top. And the numbers are usually a callback to each other. So like you have the Ace of Cups, or the Ace of Pentacles, or the Ace of Swords. Those are all one, and the Magician is one. The Magician represents the power that we have. The power that we innately have, that we know we have. The power to manifest, the power to make, the power to create. And so when we see the aces in our reading, we're seeing the presentation of each of these aces on our desk. See, we have the wand, the sword, the cup, and the pentacle. So when you're seeing the aces in a reading, you're seeing it as their manifestation coming in, right? You're seeing a manifestation come in, and it's up to you how you utilize it, and that's the rest of the cards. But for the full card is at 0, because it's before we recognize our power. It's before we recognize what we're capable of. So it's important that we look at this card not as a call to any other card except itself. It's before we really understand what our spiritual journey is showing us. And because we're seeing this in collective readings, or at least I'm seeing it in collective readings, it means that we're about to experience things that a lot of us haven't experienced before. A lot of us are not going to know what the fuck we're doing going forward. And we have to just allow ourselves to take that risk. This person is really close to a leap of faith situation, and they don't really recognize it. They're very, like, careless. And some people even will say they're being stupid, because it's literally the Fool. But the thing is, we can't call ourselves foolish for what we don't know. Yeah, you're foolish because you were being clumsy, but the thing is, you're only really a fool if you're seeing the reverse of this card. It's like you took a risk that you kind of should have known better. That's more where you're seeing that. But upright, no, it's a risk. It's maybe a blunder, but it's usually not because there's anything wrong with you. It's more so because sometimes we take a risk and we don't know any better, and that's okay. And I think because of the combination of cards that we've already talked about, when you're being presented with situations that remind you of the past but aren't the past, they're just situations that you have to kind of accept that you're going to feel some type of way, but you're also not going to know what to do with it, it's okay. Learn to be okay with not knowing what the fuck you're doing. I've been getting a lot in collective readings, and I'm getting it for myself as well. It's going to be a lot of, I know how I'm feeling because I felt this way before, but this is new territory in what I'm feeling, so it's hard for me to pick and choose what I'm supposed to do next. And the thing is, you have to call back to that time before where you felt that same way and you didn't know what the fuck to do, and that's okay. You didn't know what the fuck to do, and you don't now, and that's okay. You'll figure it out as you go, but you're not being guided to really do anything with it right now except to feel it out. Your intuition is a very strong gift, and the only reason that you have a strong intuition is if you are authentic in acknowledging your emotions. There's that authenticity we talked about. Okay, so I do really want to talk about the rest of these cards that we've been seeing collectively. So I'm going to kind of go through them kind of quickly because I really want to play games. So let's go ahead and talk about the Magician, the Judgment card, and the Wheel of Fortune very quickly. This is not a full spread. This is just the 3 cards that I've been seeing collectively. The Magician is our power and our manifestation power. The thing about manifestation is it does infer and suggest that we are gaining something. However, sometimes what we gain is something we technically already have. So if something's coming towards you, generally that means you're supposed to have it, so to speak. You're supposed to understand it, but it's about understanding how to utilize it. So remember, when we're manifesting things, whatever you're seeing in a reading from me or anyone else, and you start seeing the aces, like the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles. Let's see if I can find at least one of those. Just remember that it's not about what you're receiving all the time. It's more so like what you're doing with it, and how you're learning to regulate and understand that energy. Because having a manifestation power in this energy right now, it's super potent. We are coming across new territory, new energies, and how it manifests into our lives can be very life-changing in either a good or bad way. It's up to you to utilize that to the best of your ability. with the Judgment card, we're seeing sort of like Archangel Michael here, but I kind of want to ask you what you get from this card because everyone's opinion is a little bit different. What do you get when you see this card? What do you feel? How do you think about this card when you see it? What is it bringing to mind when you see it? How is it making you feel about yourself? Oh, Elsie, you sent me the Hanged Man. That's also another good card, and the only card that presents an actual deity in tarot. But we'll get to that tomorrow. We'll talk about that tomorrow. It's super cool, though. I love that. Thank you for sharing it with me. If you want to go ahead and share it there's a tarot art section in my Discord server. If anyone would like to join my Discord server, it's still growing, so we're not quite popping there yet, but we're getting there. So with the Judgment card, let's go ahead and start talking about it. It's okay though, if you don't get anything from the card right away, because self-reflection, okay. Self-reflection, okay. Self-reflection, that's actually really good. We have an ad break in 5 minutes. So with the Judgment card, we are seeing Archangel Michael, who is a force of protection. He's protecting his people. But also, I feel like with the Judgment card, some people have, and I'm not saying this is a lot of readers, I've just heard some people say that it reminds them of, the Rapture. Which I think is a bit strange, but, to each their own. I think a lot of, there's a lot of, Christian influence and the Bible influence into these cards, so I understand that. But I think with Judgment, people also hear the word judgment and they're like, am I being judged? Am I being criticized? Not really. It's more like you're being called to understand your predicament. I'm actually going to go ahead and open the book. Again, if you haven't seen it, it is Guided Tarot for Seamless Readings by Stephanie Capone. It is life-changing in the sense that it is pretty much the best way to get very short and sweet, very concise messages here. It says awakening, acceptance. It also has it has the reversed meanings as well. In astrology, it's connected to Pluto, the planet of transformation, death, and rebirth, and also power. The description here says, you are ready for the next step in personal growth, accepting yourself and releasing the past. In the Judgment card, an angel in the sky blows a trumpet while people emerge from caskets, rejoicing as they heed the call. So it's really about, I wouldn't say it's about second chances so much. It's about just kind of giving yourself a chance to look at things from a new perspective, or a perspective where you're providing distance from how you're seeing your predicament. See, the people are in caskets, right? Caskets suggest some type of death, to put it lightly. Before this is the Sun card, before that is the Moon card. I feel like it's just about deep reflection, like you said, Elsie, but also reflection not necessarily in a way of necessarily making a choice. It's just reflecting on our experiences and what it's led up to up until this point, because the last card comes right after this. This is the second to last card. Then we have the World. It's reflection before we provide ourselves that sort of acceptance of what we've come to, what we've kind of decided on. It's not about making a choice in terms of a strong choice necessarily. Well, it depends on the reading you're doing. If you got a reading where it's asking you to make a choice, there's going to be other cards besides the Judgment card, but it's asking you mainly to reflect internally rather than reflect externally. But again, it really depends on the reading. So we're gonna move past that and talk about our final card when we get back from the ad break in 2 minutes. Well, 2 minutes is when it starts, but then we'll come back after the ad break. If you want to take that time to kind of like look over the Wheel of Fortune, which is our other card that we've been getting collectively, go ahead and let me know what you get from it, what you feel from it, what it might be presenting to you personally, if it's asking anything of you, if you feel like it calls to you in any sort of way, let me know. And we can just talk in general, but we can talk while I'm leveling up my botany. Because we're gonna level up our botany in a second. And thank you so much, guys, for being here. I really appreciate being able to just kind of sit and talk about tarot with you guys. Hello, Luna. Thank you for the hydrate reminder. Please also hydrate. Alright, ad's about to start. I will be right back because I need more water. See ya in a bit. You also hydrate and take care of yourselves. Stretch, do all that stuff. Okay, bye. Are we back? I think we're back. Did everyone enjoy their break time? What ads do you guys get? I don't know what ads you guys get because I don't see them. But let me know what your ads were. I don't know where to put this right now. Okay. Just put this here. Okay. Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, we got a comment from Elsie. The Wheel of Fortune reminds me personally of all the thoughts and ideas you may have, and being able to be flexible and adaptable with your decisions, but at the same time decisive. Like when the wheel in maps is decisive and not giving us that white circle. Unsure if I typed that how it was meant to sound. I don't know what you mean. The wheel in... Oh, the wheel in maps. So that's actually pretty on point because the Wheel of Fortune is usually about the Wheel of Fate. You know, it's whatever you're doing, things are going to happen. You know, things are going to change, not change, whichever. People read the word fortune and they automatically assume it's blessings, and it's not that it's not blessings, because this is a Jupiter ruled card. Jupiter is usually expansion and abundance, but sometimes your abundance and your expansion is of things that you don't necessarily want in abundance or expanded. So think of it kind of like how people in the West determine karma to mean, but also an understanding that it's kind of like how time just kind of keeps going. Whatever you're doing, you kind of can't get that time back. We're gonna actually open the book and read the description there, so you have like a bit better of a description of what it means. Because for me, it can be an unclear card depending on your surrounding cards. But collectively, I feel like it means something more positive because it is Jupiter ruled, and we are getting Jupiter in Leo very soon. So cycles, change, and reverse it can mean delays and setbacks. So the Wheel of Fortune is always turning, illustrating that each moment is temporary and that life is cyclical, not linear. Surrender to the present. So the Wheel of Fortune card allows you to gain a deeper understanding of life's cycles of change. Its imagery has mystical, astrological, and occult symbolism, showing that many of the forces influencing our lives are mysterious and invisible. So yeah, it's very uncertain, but it's also understanding like it's fate. So think of it like when we shuffle our tarot cards, right? We have 78 cards here. Well, 77 if you're not counting the Wheel of Fortune here. Regardless of how much I shuffle this deck, the chances of me getting, like, say, the King of Cups is one in how many chances. I got the 10 of Cups. But you see what I'm saying? It's about chance. Just like pretty much how life is. It's about chance. Things happen. Things change. Things don't change. It's really about you staying present in the moment and you understanding your perspective of the moment. I've also noticed sometimes the descriptions say that this is Anubis. Anubis being the deity, the Kemetic deity of embalming. And also thinking about how he also represents in the Justice card and how things just kind of like work themselves out. So think of the Wheel of Fortune, not necessarily it's fortunate how things work out, how things might play out, but have fortune in knowing that whatever's happening in your life is going to work itself out one way or another. And it's really just a matter of time and effort and their experiences and our understanding of those experiences. So overall, I feel like the cards we've been getting collectively are just kind of saying things are going to kind of just keep going forward, and you have to really understand your place in all of it and how much you want to allow yourself to be caught up in your feelings about it rather than just being present and experiencing it and understanding what it's presenting to you because of those experiences. Trust the process, exactly. Trusting the process and allowing it to mean what it means. So we're going to sit with that for a little bit. And then we're going to play some games. Specifically, we're going to level up our botany in Final Fantasy XIV on my lalafell. How are we feeling with those cards? What did we learn? How do we feel? What do you understand more now about the world and about your current experiences because of those cards? I will probably be doing more specific collectives on Monday morning, so feel free to look out for that. And I'm also my Discord's now been updated with the events, so you will know when I'm streaming, even if you don't have me on Notify on Twitch. If you have your Discord notifications on, you will be seeing that. But let me know how you're feeling about that. What do you get from all those cards? Thank you. How are you feeling? Let's go to just chatting. How are we feeling? That is very bright. There we go. I want to turn on my big light, but I feel like it's going to mess up the lighting. I don't want to mess up the lighting. I also want to change the lighting real quick. That's better. It makes you miss psychology. I actually, I've met a couple of people who work in like the psychology medical fields, and they use tarot in their psychology. I went to a doctor last year who her entire office was covered in these giant amethyst crystals, and I was like, is she woo-woo? Is she spiritual? And she was asking me questions about, like, you know, just general, like, when's the last time you went to the doctor? What's your medical history? And then she asked me what I do for work. I was like, I stream and I read tarot. And she's like, I also read tarot. You get paid to read tarot? I'm like, yeah, pretty much, yeah. And she's like, oh, that's awesome. I would love to do a reading with you sometime. She never booked a reading. It's like, you know, when people just say that, it's for the nice exchange. I wasn't expecting anything. If she ever sees this, I didn't expect anything. But it's just like a very, it's a very nice interaction of, like, knowing that person supports you, that sort of thing. But, one of the things I want to do to further my psychology are going to PA Psych. They have a lot in common. Yes. I feel like spiritual stuff, if you're doing it right, has some benefits for your psychological, like, structure if you're having a hard time. For me personally, tarot and spiritual stuff in general helped me get through very, very difficult times in my life that maybe for other people were not that difficult, but unfortunately due to my lived experiences were more difficult than they should have been. And that's kind of what I want to get into talking about when it comes to the Aquarius North Node and Leo South Node transit that we're having, is that you are who you are. You don't have to pretend to be someone who has it more put together. You don't have to necessarily even, like, look at this transit like, oh, this is all the stuff that you don't have put together. Now's the time to get it put together. You can, but don't jump into the idea that you have to have it put together right away. And I think the Saturn and Aries combination with that transit's going to help a lot. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Like, it's a good time for you to adjust and understand where you could be doing things better, but also understand that in order to integrate what you could be doing better is to truly and genuinely accept where you're actually at, instead of pretending to be where you're at or trying to be at some idealized version of yourself. Because I feel like that's going to be a problem during this transit. So, we're going to put these books over here. How are you feeling this evening? It's almost 6 o'clock. It's insane. How are you feeling with all of that? How are we feeling in general? Do you guys have plans this weekend? I think I asked that already. What are your plans? For me, I will be streaming again tomorrow. Those are my plans. And then I'm going to probably just relax on Sunday. I'm hoping to get more bookings in. Not necessarily from you guys. You don't have to feel pressured. But I'm hoping to get some more readings in because I'd like to start planning for my summer. Being honest and realizing there is no behind or anything like that, but just meet yourself where you're at and take it one. Exactly. it's I think Saturn in Aries is going to be very frustrating for people who like really want to be in a certain space and recognizing it right away, like, oh my god, this is who I've always been and this is who I really really want to be, but understanding that like it takes time to get there. And it's going to get frustrating for some people. Not me though. I am patient. No, I'm not. I'm not patient at all. Ask anyone who knows me. And I do have that natally in my chart, the Aquarius North Node in 11th house, which is where Aquarius is home, and Leo 5th house, which is where Leo is home. So it's going to be a loud transit for me specifically, but anyone else who has those placements are going to have it pretty loud in their chart too. So if you have Aquarius North Node, Godspeed this summer. Not at all in a bad way. It's just very much like, this is who I really am. Time to make peace with that as quickly or not quickly as possible. I think that's kind of like the whole Seven of Cups thing, is that like, you're going to want to make peace with it, but you're also going to see the reasons why you can't make peace with it. And it's going to be about accepting that all of it is important. The amount that you love yourself and what you love about yourself will be loud, but also things you really don't like about yourself will also be equally as loud, and all of it matters all at once. One doesn't matter above the other. It's just who you are. Humans are too complicated to be fit into a box, and I think that's kind of what we're going to be seeing during these transits, is people trying to fit each other in boxes and realizing humans are way too complicated for that. Not one person. Like, you can be a part of a community but not fit entirely in the box of that community. You know what I'm saying? Like, community is not just about necessarily being part of a specific titular community. We're starting to get into that late hour streams. I'm gonna get banned just for saying tit. Watch. Tit watch. Alright, so how are you feeling? Like, genuinely, with just everything that's been kind of going on in the world, I feel like it's going to be a good time, too, to, like, it's going to be a good time to build community as well. Alright. I think I want to play some Final Fantasy. So we're going to switch over and play Final Fantasy. If you are new to Final Fantasy 14, don't worry. This character is new to Final Fantasy 14. She is still early into ARR. We just did a dungeon earlier over on my friend Pisces stream, so if you don't know who that is, that's okay. If you do, you probably do if you're here, but if you don't, we did that dungeon earlier. But we're going to switch over and play some Final Fantasy. Let's do that. Hello? It's not showing. This is the game, you guys. This is... Oh, wait, because I don't have it loaded. Scuff. That's what Scuff is. Let me just switch back. It also says that Final Fantasy is not responding. Not my fault this time. That part's not my fault. I didn't have it loaded, that's my fault. But the fact that it's saying not responding, not my fault. Anybody even getting any DDoSes lately, by the way? You noticed that? We've been getting some pretty bad disconnects throughout the last couple months, which is pretty unfortunate. I think it's working now. Maybe. We will see, we will see. In a second, we'll switch over once it loads, because I want you to see all of my alts, all 30 of them. It's like 35 or something. Too many alts. It is time for D&D, so good luck with your D&D. Have fun. Thank you for being here. And I will maybe see you tomorrow if you are available tomorrow. Thank you for being here, Elsie, and take care. Good luck with your D&D. Have fun. Let's go ahead and switch over. Why isn't it showing the game? There it goes. You guys can see my other Lala alt that I should probably delete at some point. I don't know, should I delete that alt? We'll see. Okay. Is it showing up correctly? It looks like it's showing up okay. I was having some issues with it earlier because it was showing like a black bar on the side because I have my screen set to windowed mode, so I can kind of just like snap it to the side, and I can have my chat on the side as well. But it's you know, I forgot what I was saying. So we're gonna go ahead and switch to Fisher? Maybe we'll learn Fisher. Well, we have Fisher learned. What I'm saying is maybe we'll level Fisher. Perchance. Maybe we'll actually, I feel like we should unlock the other classes. I think I want to do Alchemist next. Looks fine to you, thank you. I think I want to unlock Alchemist next. Oh my god, it's that Femro I saw earlier. She's so pretty. Anyways, I just think that women... Alright, so we're gonna go to Alchemists. Alchemist Guild and pick up Alchemy. I think that would be really cool. Alchemy's pretty cool in general. Yes, I'd like to join the Alchemist Guild. How about you? Oh, you're the guild receptionist. You're already here. Hell yeah, Femrose. My first wool was a Femro, and I didn't like how things looked on her, so I switched to Aura. And I still have a Femro, but it's not the same one. But I should play on her sometime. She is beautiful. Thank you. He looks like the hairstyle guy, doesn't he? Alright, we are switching to our Alembic. Oh, I'm naked. That's gonna get me banned on Twitch. Should repair my gear. Yes. Let us see if we can continue this trend of unexpected success. For your first lesson, I want you to use your weathered alembic there and make me a bottle of distilled water. Thanks. I got you, bro. Let's do this. So what do I need for that? Muddy water? Wait. I think I have... Wait, no, I don't have miner unlocked, so I guess I have to unlock miner now. I think. Yeah, I don't have it unlocked. So let me go do that, and then I'll go get the muddy water. Because I don't feel like buying it, because who buys things if they can just make it or find it? So now I'm going to have to do that. That's okay. I was planning on unlocking all of that stuff today anyways. So it works out. My stomach's really upset, so if you hear noises, it's not that I'm hungry, it's that my stomach is generally, like, upset because I'm not supposed to be eating cheese, and I eat cheese a lot. Oh well. Yes, I'd like to join the Miners Guild. Yeah, Virgo problems for sure. It's 100% because I'm a Virgo. Like, if someone tells you they have stomach problems a lot, just ask them if they're a Virgo. You will probably get a yes. Ready to work hard and get dirty? Hell yeah. There's a red-headed woman asking me if I want to get dirty. I'm always gonna say yes. Alright, so let's go ahead and equip that. And do that, and yeah, okay. And go back and please give me a quest. Thank you. Like, Val, are you a cutscene skipper? Yeah, actually, when I've already done this stuff. New content, like, on my main, I'm caught up to current story, but, like, on my alts, I'm like, no, I gotta skip. I can't do this. I have zero patience. Okay, so we're gonna go and get, they want us to get copper ore, so that is in Hammerly or the Spineless Basin. I think I'm gonna go to Hammerly, so that's the Western Thanalan. So we're going to Western Thanalan to get some ore. We have an ad break starting soon. Oh no. It's okay. So, I think for tomorrow, what we're gonna do is probably do some, like, check-ins, like, with the collective, just to see, like, where we're sitting with this Saturn and Aries energy, where we want to sit with this energy, how we feel about it. But I also kind of want to do a couple of, like, of the free, because I have some channeled rune messages, so I'm thinking of doing that as well. For anyone who might want to come in and get a free message tomorrow. They are already pre-channeled messages. You would just need to leave your big 3. So that should be fun. And probably play more on this alt because I'm having so much fun on her. She is so cute. Alright, so we are trying to get copper ore, right? Yeah. Need to... Here we go. Yeah, let's do that. Let's run up these stairs and then drop. That's smart. That's healthy. Oh, look, there's the muddy water we need. Hey. Perfect. Oh, I got nothing. Thank you so much. Hi, Florine. Thank you for this streak. How are you? Just doing some gathering so that I can make some water. We also have an ad break coming. How fun. How is she reaching that? How is she reaching that? Somebody just ran by with their character had my ex's name on it, and I was just like, oh. Okay, cool. I'm glad to hear you're good, Florine. I had to, like, do a double take because I was like, is that my ex's name? It's okay. Oh, that's good. How are you enjoying it? I'm, like, dancing because I'm trying to, like... Actually, let me see how long I have till the ad break. So we have, like, 2 minutes till the ad break starts, and I probably will be right back because I kind of need to check on something, but I'll be coming right back to this after, so I can get the rest of this ore. Oh my god. I walked all the way away from it. Good job. You need to build We need a bigger boat. Take a break. Yep. Breaks are good. I can stretch, drink water, have a snack, hydrate. I just said hydrate, but you know, hydrate some more. Alright, so the ad break is coming, so we'll be taking a break then. Remember to also hydrate, grab a snack, stretch, do whatever you need to do to feel like you are taking a break, and we'll be back after the ad. We're only going till 7 my time, so that's only another hour. So, so far I think we're doing pretty good. If you'd like to, I forgot what I was gonna say. That is so awesome. This person's name is Haberdasher. That's an unfortunate name. Um, if you'd like to stick around for the next hour, that'd be great. If not, that's okay. I understand, like, the later I stream, there's gonna be run-ins with conflicting time schedules and all that. But thank you for being here if you have been. I got free DLC furniture to the channel. Oh, nice. Oh, and your starter house? Yeah. I wanted to get that Love and Deep Space furniture that's available, but then Raphael broke my pity, and now I'm mad at the game. And it wasn't even the new Raphael card; it was one of his old cards that I've already gotten multiple times. So I'm just like, I don't want to play it right now, but I also really want to play it at the same time. So, anyways, we're in an ad, so I'm gonna be right back. Take care of yourselves while I'm gone. Are we back? Did we take break? Did we relax? Did we eat something? What did we do? What doing? So, um, if you are part of the Discord, not a part of the Discord, that's okay. You can join anytime. I did want to say though that my Discord has been updated with my schedule in the events section, so you can know when I'm streaming, what days, what times, etc. Thank you, Pisces. Just to kind of like explain that there will be some days that I might just stream for the hell of it if I'm able to. And those will be days that I dedicate towards either like body doubling streams or just kind of like doing like collective check-ins, but there'll only be like 1 or 2 hour streams because I'm not looking for necessarily random stream days that are full streams. You know what I'm saying? But I've noticed that the schedule that I have to work with, I will be able to stream some Thursdays. Surprise streams! Hell yeah, surprise streams! Those are good sometimes. Hell yeah. Those will probably be Thursday evenings, if anything. Maybe Sunday mornings. It really depends on my availability based on if I have readings that I have to do or if they have some other thing that I have to accommodate for. But that will be the future going forward. I will be scheduling most of my streams as Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays. With the in between time rest days and also in between times for my other obligations and things that I just prefer to do and spend my time on. So please look forward. Looking forward intensifies. You just got out of the shower? Nice. Good timing. There's a bun boy here. He is wrecking the shit out of the striking. Anyways. How are you, Moose? How are you? We're just gathering and leveling up our minor while we talk about tarot, and you missed my whole like tarot education stuff, by the way. Better you napped? Awesome. Naps are awesome. I wanted to nap before I streamed because I slept terribly last night, but I was just like, you know what? No, we press forward. We move on. We sleep when we're dead. No, I'm gonna sleep so good tonight. I just know it. I'm glad you feel better though. Naps are awesome. I don't know why my Twitch mobile app is so shitty, but I have heard multiple people complain about the Twitch mobile app, so I'm seeing in real time what people are complaining about, and no me gusta. Oh, there he is again. You get used to walking everywhere, you just start actually walking everything. I'm like pretty sure that at some point I am going to forget when I get my mount that I have my mount, and then I will proceed to continue like walking every fucking where. You like the Moogle? Yeah, I do too. I really like when multiple people have their Moogles out and they start dancing together. It's really fucking cute. Oh boy. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people. Jesus Christ. I'm not gonna say anything specifically, but Sarge has some pretty interesting people. I mean, all of the servers do, but Sarge has a pretty interesting, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. This person's name is Lunakai. A cat girl named Luna. Never heard of that before. Have you? Yeah, characters. Interesting characters. That's the way to put it. That's actually fantastic way to put that. Good job, Moose. Thank you. You don't know her? Yeah, I don't know her either. I'm screaming. That's so funny. Like, if I see another cat girl named Luna, I'm gonna start tallying up and having, like, a tally somewhere. Just because I see so many of them. Yeah, that's not where I meant to go. My friend just made a cat girl named Luna on What'd I just say? Like, it's just how it is, man. I see a lot of cat girls named Luna. It just happens. It doesn't have to mean anything. It is what it is. Nice streak. Thank you. Luna de Luna. So technically, she's Luna twice. Your friend is Luna twice. There is... That's a really big table. Oh my god. Okay. I think I'm gonna continue the Alchemist quest line, because that's what I originally wanted to do. You don't use that enough? It's true. Yeah. I feel that. Oh! Yep. I knew that was gonna happen. It's my stomach is in pain because I'm that person who should not be consuming dairy but does it anyway. And then I suffer later. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. It happens. Yeah, sometimes I don't use my own emotes either. I kind of low-key forget that I have my own emotes. That is all the people that consume dairy. They shouldn't, but they do. Because it's delicious. I had ice cream earlier, and I had other forms of dairy earlier, and it's just who I am. I can't help it. It just, unfortunately, it makes my stomach very upset and, like, gurgly, and just... You hear it, and you're like, oh, is Val hungry? No, Val had dairy, and Val's stomach now talks to her all the time. Okay, cool. Anyways. Heh heh heh. Wah ha 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 ha. Okay. So you're crazy. Same though. Actually, same though. Alright, so we did that. I think I need to level up. Yeah, I need to get like a couple more levels before I get to the next quest. So I'm going to keep making distilled water. Let's make... Oh, not that many. Like 10. 10 should be good. I think I'll level up in 10. So how's everyone's evening going? Do you have any plans tonight? Or tomorrow, since it's Valentine's Day? You know, Moose, you're absolutely probably right about that. When you study any sort of, like, occult, I feel like alchemy would be kind of occulty, you know? And this is a whole world full of, like, magic and stuff. I think everyone's a little bit nuts. Right? We're a little bit nuts, right? Okay. He also looks a lot like the esthetician guy. So I kind of like wonder about that. What is it now? Gill for the poor? Another cursed love filter? Yeah, probably. I wasn't listening. What did he say? Oh, antidote. Oh, I already had some. No crafting for me. Just give him the antidotes that are already in my inventory. I don't know if you guys do that. I do that obviously because I listen. If I can find the easy way to do something, I will. And it's not because I'm lazy. It's just that sometimes if you cut corners with certain things that you can afford to cut corners with, it's okay. It happens. Really? This is really shitty gear. Thank you. Good. Okay. So as I was asking, does anyone have any plans tomorrow? Okay, so, I will be streaming again tomorrow. We'll probably get into more esoteric stuff tomorrow. Maybe. We'll see. Beeswax. I think I need beeswax for something. I think I should go get it then. Okay. Fine. It'll help me level up my alchemy, but also help me level up my weaver because I think I need beeswax for my weaver as well. I think perchance that I did. Yeah. So yeah, for tomorrow's plans, we're probably gonna get into some collective readings. I know it's Valentine's Day, so they might be love readings. I don't know what the plan is for that, because for me, like, I do I do have to talk my shit. I am an incredible reader when it comes to love readings. However, I do have certain rules and regulations that I have to set in place for that because sometimes people like to ask about their ex or ask about, does this guy like me? Like, if a guy likes you, you'll know. And if he's playing hard to get, or if he's not really showing that he likes you, you don't have to wait around till he does. You can just, like, live your life. If he wants you, he'll come get you. Like, that's my belief. If somebody likes you, they'll tell you that they like you. They'll show effort if they like you. And if they don't like you, that's okay. Like, it happens. I'm just saying, like, if a person likes you, you'll know. People, I mean, I understand, like, I understand wanting to kind of know what to expect. And I understand, like, asking, like, what can I expect between me and this person? But it's also, like, what do you want to happen between you and that person? Like, is it just that you like them and you want something to happen? And if you want something to happen, then make an effort yourself. Or if you're not sure if that person likes you, just ask them. And a lot of people don't want to ask. And I get that too, but it's also like, I don't know, people are just kind of in a rush for things to work out for them a certain way. And I think part of the beauty of life is not knowing, you know. The part of the beauty of life is not knowing what's coming in. One of the readings that I am extremely successful in my predictions with is called the singles prediction, where I'm able to channel like the placements and name and like not name but like initials of a person's like future person. But I always tell them before I get into the reading, like, just because you meet somebody who fits this description, don't pursue them. Let it happen naturally, because you don't have to you kind of get in your own way sometimes, you know, kind of knowing what's going to happen. So I can do really accurate predictions for people, but most of the time people don't want to hear it. And I've had people come to me and be like, oh, what's going to happen between me and this person? And back when I did those readings, and I would tell them, well, here's what I see happening. And it would be like really bad stuff they didn't want to hear. They would cuss me out about it, or they'd, you know, ignore me, or they'd block me. And I've had people come back and say, oh yeah, that thing you said was going to happen, it happened. I'm like, well, yeah, because you got in your own way, because that's what the reading says. You get in your own way. So I'm not necessarily reading for the sake of like telling you how your life is laid out. It's laid out based on your energy. So if your energy is saying it's laid out this way, it's not because that's actually what's going to happen necessarily that I am predicting it for you. It's that it's predicting based on who you are currently. And who you are currently is the person that gets in your own way, or whatever the case might be. And people don't want to hear that. So that's why I don't like doing those readings. It's not that I can't do them, it's just that people don't want to hear the truth. They just don't. And also, like, it's a consent thing too, because like, even if a person is interested in you, let it happen at its own pace. Don't get readings about other people. Like, I've had people come to me and say, hey, me and my partner want to get a reading about how we can, you know, help our relationship. And I've had, like, the partner of that person email me, but it's also, like, just because I'm saying these things doesn't mean you necessarily have to take my advice, because you still have to figure your own life out. Sometimes people get a reading and they think that that's going to define their future, and it can define it, but not as much as you might want it to. So... And the reason I charge the amount that I do is because it's a lot of energy that I'm using to channel that for you. So it's not that it's a big reading necessarily. It's just, it's not even planning out a specific aspect of your life. It's just letting you know that, hey, it takes a lot to kind of say, this is your current energy and this is what I'm seeing panning out for you based on what's currently happening. But things can change. I've done like month ahead predictions of like very general content. People are just like, hey, that all that stuff you said that was going to happen in a month happened in a week. What do I do with the rest of the month? Reflect. Literally just reflect on what's happened and how you want to go forward. Supposed to be getting bone chips. I don't really feel like doing that. I want to make... I'm not even in the right section because I've been yapping. I mean, that's kind of the point of this stream, was to just chill and yap, but, you know. Yeah, the earlier part of stream, I was kind of talking about, like, what I've been seeing for the collective, and mostly what I've been seeing for the collective is, there's actually a picture that Luna sent me. Luna hasn't been in the stream, but it's a picture from one of the Pokemon games, and it says, I posted it in my Discord server, regret is proof you've grown. The fact that you wish you had done better means you are already someone who would. And that's a really clean and precise way of explaining what I'm kind of seeing collectively right now, is people are doing a lot of self-reflection about what they wish they could have done better. It's not about drowning in what you could have done better. It's about, how do I want to proceed now? What do I want to do differently? So I think that's like super important right now. Oh, Twitch mobile. Eat my ass. Gets banned. Yeah, so you know, it's not about what you could have done differently. It's how do you want to proceed forward differently for yourself. Mm. Powder that makes you say real. Or I think I have enough of the honey or the beehive chips, but I'm gonna get a little bit more because we need a little bit more just in case we fuck up. Alright, let's go ahead and go back and do some crafting. Has it already been 2.5 hours? Because we have 30 minutes left of stream. That's crazy. Wow, a bun boy. How daring. JK. I just see a lot of bun boys on Sarge. Anyways. I do, though. There's a lot of you. And cat girls, apparently. Named Luna. I can't tell if I'm happy or I'm miserable. Alright. Yes, that's why I didn't want to be one. But it's, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I love bun boys. Everyone who knows me knows I love bun boys and I love auras. But there's quite a few. There's a lot. So I understand. I have a lot of my own side. I need to play on my bun boys, but I've only really played on one of them, and he's like at, I think he's able to unlock Praetorium. That's as far as he's gotten. Enjoy your Valentine's Day. Thank you for being here, UA. Have to fit the toxic raider mentality, you know what I mean? That's what, oh my god. No. Ew. No toxic for me. I just pretty bun boy, please. None of that toxic shit. Please. Actually, I need to go back to Alchemist, and I have to actually craft the beeswax, and then I can turn it into what I want to turn it into. So yeah, tomorrow we're going to be streaming at the same time, and we're probably going to talk a little bit more about esoteric stuff. I will be open to doing some readings. Obviously, we'll still have our standard, like, no asking about a past person, another person, no political, no legal, no pregnancy questions, and no health stuff. And also that's my Ko-fi if you want to book a reading. What great timing. I also have a Discord. If you're not in the Discord, I don't know. Let me just go ahead and toggle that. There we go. Okay. So if you're not in the Discord, that's where I will be sending out alerts every time I stream. And there's also my schedule. I finally added my schedule in there, so good. It's all coming together. I'm gonna do some quick synthesis because I am lazy. And I will be lazy where I can afford to be lazy. So yeah, we'll do some readings, we'll do some, like, predictions, maybe some love predictions just for fun, nothing that sticks too much to the surface, just to let you know if you do see my channeled messages ever, to apply them to your sun, moon, or rising when they're general messages, and for, like, love readings, your moon and Venus. Yeah, I mean, I was crafting, like, dead in the middle of, like, Western Thanalan, just, like, on the pathway. She just started crafting. Oh, there goes my controller. Always dropping things. Yeah, she's just crafting right in the middle of Western Thanalan. Just did not give a single fuck about what was going on around her. But yeah, the thing about my readings is they do, for the love readings, they do include not safe for work content sometimes, if that is what comes through in the reading. So please keep that in mind if you are here, that it does get a bit saucy sometimes, depends on what's going on in the reading. There are some readers who do like what your next encounter will be like type readings, which is, I know how to do those readings. I've done them before, but maybe not on stream because I don't want to get too saucy. Don't want to get banned. We do have an ad break starting in like a minute, so keep that in mind. That over there. Someone on Twitch is doing savages. That looks hard. No, thank you. Looks hard. No, thank you. So yeah, we'll be probably doing some readings tomorrow, some like general content, nothing too crazy, and maybe going over like astrology, transits, things like that. No like strong vibes to doing like predictions in love, just what the current vibes are. I need to gather more shit. God damn it. Ongoing cycle, just gather this, craft this, gather this again. Vicious cycle. Love it. We love to see a vicious cycle. Okay, crafting book. Do teehee. And branch. And more or less in the same area. Cool. We'll just go over there. Thank you. I figure for Valentine's Day it'd be good to kind of like be open to whatever's coming in. That's what she said. be open to yeah, I'm sure it'll be fun. I can't wait for the people to come in and ask like where their ex is. Cause I'm telling you right now, as a person who's been doing love readings, and I am very good at love readings, I don't want to toot my own horn too much, but that's what I was known for over on Twitter with my 20K followers, was doing love readings. And I've had people come to me and say, hey, like, I got a love reading from this person and it don't feel like it was accurate to my situation. Can I get a reading from you? And it was pretty much people were telling me, like, you're not charging enough. And I'm like, I know, but the economy. So not to toot my own horn, I know what I'm doing as far as love readings go. I get kind of, and I'm sure other tarot readers in the chat will tell you that they agree that there's going to be a plethora of people who are just like, I'm sad because I miss my ex. Why do I miss my ex? Like, because you need to grow up. Point blank, you need to grow up. They're your ex for a reason. They're your ex for a reason, my guy. It is extremely rare to have an ex that you fix things with. And it has to be a joint effort. And a lot of people forget that. But anyways, grow up. That's what I tell people. Like, I'm being so honest with you, grow up. I also, and please be trigger warned here, I do also do twin flame readings. Now, I know, that there's gonna be people out there like, but twin flames, that's the crazy people talk. The thing about it is that, just like we're gonna be dealing with this transit of the, you know, the Aquarius North Node, Leo South Node, you're gonna have people who are still dealing with this mentality of what twin flames are. And if you believe twin flames exist, good. You should. If that's what you believe that. Because for what I see it as is you believe it until you don't, if you ever get to that point. If you believe in it in a way that's helpful to you. When I believed in that stuff, I said to myself, why do I believe in this? And that's because I believe that there is someone out there who loves the way that I love. And that is because I know the love that I have within me is good and worthy. And that's kind of the whole point. You redirect that love to yourself until you find the person you're supposed to be with, quote unquote. The person that you're meant to be with or want to be with, who wants to be with you. It's not about a person who is your other half or who's just like you, who's not just like you. It doesn't matter who you're attaching yourself to. It's about you attaching yourself to yourself, but without the attachment of it has to be something romantic. You have to love who you are and find love in yourself and in others. Like, it kind of teaches you that, like, there is no such thing as of one person being, like, your mirror. We all mirror each other. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, there's a reason people are your ex. And most of the time, the clients that I have that are searching their ex, uh, it's for good reason that they're their ex. You know, not always, but you know, most cases. So tomorrow is going to be a lot of fun. I just know it. I just know it. I thought about doing like predictive reading on myself during stream tomorrow to see like the future of my love life. And then I had a big ass wave of anxiety and went, that's probably not a good idea because you're just kind of opening yourself up to people being like, you know. But also, another note for that is I don't want people knowing my business, you know. It's kind of not fair to me. So, how are you guys doing? Are you excited for tomorrow? What are your plans for tomorrow besides watching my stream? Yeah, it is brave, and I considered it. Excuse you, stomach. I know I had dairy. Shut up. Yeah, it is brave. It is brave. Very brave. I'm a very brave person. I'm a very bold person, but there's just some things I'm not that brave about. And that's one of them. I'm a brave, confident person until it comes to like a few things, and that's definitely up there on the list. I remember, Pisces, when I was telling you that I wasn't confident in my astrology skills to offer readings yet, and you were like, I'm surprised. And I'm like, I am full of surprises. You would be surprised about things when it comes to me. That's one of them. That's literally one of them. Also, I'm doing this because you ever just like your bra's just really uncomfortable? Because, yeah. Yeah, you're still shocked? Yeah, I'm shocked because, like, yeah, I could offer, like, in tiers of, like, what I can do, but, um, it's funny because, like, I'll think I'll know enough and be able to provide enough, and then there's gonna be somebody asking me a question that I'm gonna have to answer it intuitively because I can't tell you astrologically what that means. Like, I'm all about vibe checking people's charts. I will look at your chart and look at it like a snapshot, but if you ask me, like, oh, somebody said I have moon in the third house, what does that mean? Like, that means you have moon in the third house. Yay! Shut up, stomach. please. So, yeah. um, I mean, I am confident enough to do chart readings for like the vibes, but I just know somebody's gonna be like, so what should I do for my career? Your guess is as good as mine. What do you feel most called to do? That's usually what you should be doing for work, is what you feel most called to do. But if I did have to give my opinion on that, by the way, yeah, the voibes. If I had to give my opinion on your career, a lot of people say the 10th house tells you your career. And I'm going to tell you right now, yes and no. It is not 100% pinpointed to your 10th house. Your 10th house tells you about your legacy. It's also the father. So, wherever you feel the most confident is usually your 10th house energy, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what you should be doing for work. Because your career should be a regulation of your moon, your Venus, and your Chiron. My personal opinion is it should be those things, because that's where you have the most routine, is the regulation of your Venus, your moon, and your Chiron. Um, Mine are all interconnected, so Gucci for me, but it really, really depends for each person. I wouldn't dictate it on the house. I would dictate it on your moon, your Chiron, your Venus placements. But I think like also, I think that when it comes to people's career, I think it's really also about their Jupiter, because Jupiter does represent your abundance. So whatever you don't mind bringing in more of, learning how that works with the rest of those placements really does help. Because what you attract is going to help you with your regulation. Hell, even Pluto, I feel like, is a good, like, there's a lot of ways to look at a chart and a lot of ways to kind of say, like, this functions this way, so it'd probably be good if you did this for your career. Okay, now my stomach's starting to be, like, growly, hungry, growly, like 15 minutes. You guys can put up with that for 15 minutes, right? I can put up with that for 15 minutes. It's fine. We're just a bit snacky, that's all. I'd like to get to a point where I don't mind eating on camera, but... Oh, you can't hear it? Awesome. Just pretend I didn't say anything. Just can't even hear it. Awesome. There is a hero standing over there. I kind of want to go bother him. His name is Isaac. You play a fantasy game and your name is Isaac? Okay. I love snacks. I love snacks so much. I have Cheetos staring at me. If you're a snack, what kind of snack are you? I was gonna say what snack I am because I think it's such a delicious and wonderful treat, but then I realized the implications. But there's these donuts that they sell at the Korean mall that I live near, and they are basically creme brulee. They're like those really soft sugar donuts, and they have cream inside of them, and then the top of them is bruleed, so it's a bit crunchy and on the top, and it's so good. It's so good. Like even if you're not like a big sweets person, it's so good. Like I don't really crave a lot of sweets myself, but like occasionally I'll be like, I really want that donut. And by the time I'm able to go get the donut, it's sold out because everybody loves the donut, and that's kind of the point. I'm a very lovable donut. So, we will be shutting the stream off at 7. Salt and nori chips, that sounds so good. I have them downstairs. Do you mean like just like the fried nori chips, or do you mean like the they're called rice crackers, but I'm pretty sure they're just like regular crackers, and then they probably ones. I'm gonna have to go get some next time I go to the store. I might have to ask Luna to drag me to Tokyo Central soon. Just like 8 chips. Because we actually haven't been over there in a minute, and I miss my pistachio, my chocolate covered pistachios. The what company is it? You're making me hungry. Fuck. I was already hungry, but still. Like hissing because I'm hungry. Also, like, I haven't been over there for snacks in a while, so it's gonna be hard for me because I'm gonna want to spend more money than I should. Cause when I go to the Japanese store, I easily spend way too much money in there. Because I'm like, I'll just get the stuff I usually get, and then there's something new, and I'm like, when I used to work at a Japanese market, and they closed. I didn't know they closed until recently. I used to work at one, and quiet, and I spent like half my check on snacks that were being brought in because my boss would like, oh, Val will like this snack. I'm gonna import it for them, and I'm like, why'd you do that to me? And then we went to Tokyo. She asked me like, she's like, hey, if you see anything over there you like, I'll get it imported for you. And I'm like, why would you say that to me? Because she knew I didn't like working there because, well, she knew why I didn't like working there, but she wanted to keep me, so she just kept importing stuff. One time she imported, there wasn't even a demand for it. There were like these like coffees that had BTS on them, and she knew I liked BTS, so she had them brought in. I was like, okay. And I was the only one drinking them. She's like, here, for you. And I'm like, why would you do this? I mean, thanks, I guess, but why? We also used to get there's a Japanese bakery that we used to get bread from called Cream Pun, and they had these like strawberry croissant things, and now I'm thinking of those, and those are so good. I'm just making myself hungry. But yeah. Gonna have to tell Luna to bring me over to Tokyo Central later. Not today. Maybe someday. She's not gonna say no. I'm pretty sure she wants something over there. I've also, like, recently was telling her, like, I was trying to, I'm the type of storyteller where I'll say, like, imagine this is happening. I'm trying to, like, get the story to be relatable so that when you're listening, you understand what I'm experiencing, what I'm feeling. And I brought up, like, this place, called Go-Go Curry. It's got really fucking good curry. It's really good. And I remember mentioning, I was like, well, say we wanted to go to Go-Go Curry. We know the place exists, but for some reason, things keep getting put off. You want the curry. I'm remembering what I was saying to her. I'm not going to say what it was, but I was saying, like, the curry is available, but things keep getting in the way of you going to get the curry. So, like, you're just sad because you want the curry, but things keep getting in the way of the curry. You can get it any time, and eventually you'll actually get to eat the curry, but it's going to take some time and patience. And she was just, the whole time I was talking, she kept, like, nodding and then looking at the calendar behind me, trying to figure out when we can go get curry, because that's just who she is. My stomach's being very annoying right now. I hope you can't hear that. But it's also making me hungry to talk about curry. But it was a very funny story because she wasn't listening to me half of it. Just because I forgot what I was doing. I think I was trying to finish getting... Fuck, I made myself too hungry. I'm not paying attention. See, this is what happens. Our ADHD gets in the way. Alright, so I think I'm over exactly... Pisces, you get it. I think I'm good on these. Yeah, I have 95. Jesus Christ. Okay, so I think I need to get more distilled water. Hello? Oh yeah, okay. Okay, okay, okay. It's all come together. It's all come together. I really want curry right now. I'm just gonna teleport back. I don't feel like walking all that way. But yeah. So for the time being, we're gonna close stream in about 6 minutes. We'll switch back to just chatting and just kind of hang out for a bit until the end. But we'll be back on tomorrow. Same time, same bat schedule. We'll be probably talking more about tarot and esoteric stuff tomorrow. We'll be doing some like checking in with the collective, seeing what's going on with the vibes because it is going to be Valentine's Day tomorrow. Maybe we'll do some predictions just for fun, not serious predictions about what's going on in people's love lives. Um, Mostly self love, I think, is going to be the focus because I think with as I mentioned several times during this stream, we'll have the Aquarius North Node and Leo South Node happening in June, the end of June. So a lot of considering our place in the world and how we want to present in our lives. I think with Saturn and Aries, and I'm going to bring this back up again, the last time we had Saturn and Aries, this book came out. This book right here, Fight Club. I'm not going to even try to pronounce this guy's last name because I don't know how. But at the end of Saturn and Aries, we had the movie. And I think people absolutely missed the point of what this book was saying. So it'll be interesting seeing that reflected back again this year. I do feel like toxic masculinity is going to be a topic during this transit. Self-love is very important, yes. Mare? Mare what? Anyways, where was I? I forgot where I was, but yeah. The hunger is killing my brain cells. But yeah, so we'll be doing an evening stream just like we did today, 4 p.m. PST until about 7 p.m. PST. Oh. Okay. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. I get it now. I switched it there. Yeah, so if you didn't read Fight Club when you were in school, I would recommend reading it now because I feel like the themes will be kind of important going forward. But also, like, it's really important to understand that there are dark themes in this. This isn't like the movie. The movie had its own dark themes, but there's some pretty intense stuff in here. If you don't understand the themes in here, we can do like a book club discussion at some point, I guess. If you did read it, I'll probably be reading it again soon. But tomorrow, yes, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. If you have plans, great, please have fun. If you are a single Pringle like myself, you're welcome to come in and hang out. And we can do some fun love predictions or just some sexy reading time. Because, yeah, be a good time to hang out, check the transits, see what's happening, talk about self-love, talk about what our self-love journey has taught us about romantic love. It's okay to be on your self-love journey and to want romantic love too and to be on that duality of a journey, but also understand that it starts with you. So with that being said, thank you for being here. I do have a Discord. If you'd like to join it, you are welcome to. You don't have to. We're still kind of building up. And I do also have a Ko-fi available if you'd like to book a reading. If you see on my... Why is it doing that again? Oh, there it goes. It wasn't loading. If you do see on my Ko-fi where it has readings available, there are going to be different options that say TS and PO. PO means private only, meaning I will not do those readings live on Twitch. However, I do have TS, which is Twitch safe, which means you can ask questions on Twitch. I also have a redeem for readings. However, with all of my readings, I would politely and kindly ask you to only ask a question for yourself. Do not ask about another person. Do not ask about political affairs. Do not ask about health or any medical, pregnancy, life or death situations, anything like that. And I think there was one more. Yeah, just generally don't ask about another person. Does my ex still love me? Blah, blah, blah. Does this person like me? I feel like those questions are kind of obvious in how they answer. I do also have simple yes no answers as well. If I am not streaming and you book a $5 yes no, I will film it for you on TikTok or film it for you and send it to you. Are you pregate? I love that meme so much. But yeah, I don't take pregnancy questions, so please do not ask them. I mean, you can, but I'm not going to answer them for you. Yeah, there is a redeem. Like, if you've been watching my streams, you have points saved up, there is a redeem for it. But I would politely suggest that you still read the rules. Don't ask me any questions like that. There will be rules for the stream tomorrow, but nothing too crazy. Okay? And there probably will be like an 18 plus kind of warning, so no minors, because I don't read for minors. I also like the Luigi board one. You guys know that one? The Luigi one? The Luigi board? Okay, so I'm going to snooze that ad that's coming in because we are about to shut off. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you so much for just supporting me and watching the stream. I will be back tomorrow for Valentine's Day. If you'd like to come hang out, I'd love to see you. Thank you for being here, and I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Take care of yourselves, and I love you. Bye. Where is it?